Hey, it's Benji Cole, son of Al Cole from CBS Radio and host of People of Distinction, the talk that gives an in-depth view of some of the most dynamic, intelligent, and successful people on the planet. Run to our website, peopleofdistinction.org for more info, or you can always email me directly at benji@alcoleenterprises.com. And on the line with us today, we have Martha G. Klimek. And we're going to be discussing her amazing book, Embracing the Supernatural and Paranormal Phenomenon with Developing Your Psychic Abilities. How does one outrun the supernatural and paranormal phenomena? You don't. You embrace it. Now, it's available for purchase through Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com, pretty much any online book reseller. But people, listen. If you want to gather more information on Martha herself, remember, for purchasing of the book, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, you can do no wrong. But if you want to gather more information on her, more information on a blog that she has set up, and any additional information and resource that she has, you're going to want to head on over to her personal website. And that's marthaklimek.com, KLIMEK.com. As I stated there, you'll find a blog that she has. You'll be able to find additional information and everything else that she has in store. So one more time, that's marthaklimek.com for more resources. And I will say, Martha was brought to our network, People of Distinction, today by some of the best publishers in the business, Author Flex Media. So if you or anyone you know have a book that they'd like moved, people, give yourself the best gift you could possibly give. Contact Author Flex and have their wonderful team move it for you. And you can find out more information on them at authorflexmedia.com. And listen, it is an absolute pleasure to have Martha here on the line. You need to sit back, you need to strap in, have your notebooks ready, because this is a fantastic education you're going to be able to receive. And a wonderful journey you're going to run on over to her Amazon, Barnes & Noble pages and pick up once we've completed here today. And Martha is the expert, okay? She's lived it. She's written it. She's going to be able to articulate it much better than I ever could. So let's bring her here with us. Martha, first and foremost, welcome to People of Distinction, and thank you very much for being a guest. How you doing today?
Fine, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Likewise. Well, listen, the pleasure is all ours.
And how are you?
Oh, thank you very much. You know how often I ask that, and people don't ask me back. Not a big thing, but I appreciate you doing it, Martha, so I'm going to thank you for it. And I am doing very well, better than I deserved. Okay, and I'm looking forward to this interview. Again, thank you for being a guest, Martha. Now, before we go into your books, I know there's a lot of information we have to cover pertaining to that. I think it's important for us to start by learning a little bit more about your background. So let's start there. Tell us a little bit more about yourself, Martha.
Well, I went and moved 550 kilometers away and gave up my business of accounting and income tax preparation when my husband went and retired. So it gave me time to write a book.
Mm-hmm. There you have it.
It's been interesting. It's been a fast, long year with the school and stuff, learning how to write a book. The school or the course went and promised that you would have a manuscript ready for publishing within the year. And I did it, which I was shocked.
Yeah, well, listen, I'm sure there was a lot of work involved because that's a fast turnaround time.
Oh, yes, it is. It was quite interesting with all the research and that. But the thing with the research is I had a lot of life experiences that helped with it.
The anchor for today's interview, as I stated before, is all about your book, Embracing the Supernatural and Paranormal Phenomenon with Developing Your Psychic Abilities. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, from a very early age, I could see spirits, and I was always told that ghosts didn't exist or spirits didn't exist. I've got a feeling it has to do with the Canadian penal laws because it was deemed as witchcraft and the pretense of committing fraud. So that just came off the books in 2019. Now it's listed under entertainment. but you can still be charged with fraud if you go to the extent which some people would go to, collecting thousands and thousands of dollars for services that they promise that probably will not work.
Mm.
So my father did tell me that years ago, he says, people were killed for that, being able to do that. And that put a nail right in there, not to even pursue it or talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
I didn't want to bring it out into the open.
Martha, that's a great segue to go to. I wasn't going to go into inspiration next, but after that answer, how could I not? Talk to us about what inspired you to embark upon the journey and release this book.
My husband encouraged me, and it was something that I wanted to do. I wanted to write the book, and with having a couple of near-death experiences, I found out that there is definitely something beyond this physical world. There's a spiritual world that's out there, and the word must get out that there is something, life after death, and not to be afraid. It's just a transition period.
Right. Well, if I may, Martha, hopefully I'm not overstepping here. Could you talk to us about the near-death experience that you're talking about?
I remember being in the hospital when I was a child, and I wasn't expected to live because I was really sick. And I had a priest sit with me every afternoon. And one day after I had fallen asleep and the priest left, there was angels in my room. And right after that, I took the turn to become well again. So, and nobody believed me that there was angels in the room.
Wow.
But I seen them, and I became well. So there were healing angels that came to visit me.
That is incredible.
And the other one was when I was, an adult. I had two when I was an adult. And I was in the hospital after major surgery, and something happened with the surgery that I found myself floating above my body. And I seen these people around, and I was talking to all these spirits. And they were telling me that I had to go back because it wasn't my time to leave Earth. I had work to do. And a couple of times I did talk to Jesus, and that's exactly what he said to me, was to, return. You had work to do, but I don't know what the work is other than writing this book and telling people that there is something spiritual out there and to look forward to it.
People, I'm telling you, could we have selected a more perfect embodiment of a person of distinction? Listen, Martha, you are very, very distinct. I'm loving what you're saying here. Guys, you know what you got to do. Amazon and Barnes & Noble, I said it before, embracing the supernatural and paranormal phenomenon with developing your psychic abilities. This is fantastic, and we've just started. We barely scratched the surface here. Head on over to Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Make sure to check out marthaklimek.com to get more information on her blog, as well as more information on her. Martha, next question that I'd love to go into, and really dealer's choice, right? Because I think that this is vast, given your experience and, of course, I'm sure everything that's written in the book. But what would you say was a highlight for you in writing the book? Or if not a highlight, something that surprised you that you weren't anticipating before you began?
Well, there was a lot of research in the book, and you might be able to live through some of this stuff, but there's always a lot of research to make sure that you have things right. Mm-hmm. And I've noticed that there was more people, particularly on YouTube, coming forward with their near-death experiences, and it opens up the whole field again, where people are comfortable about talking about it, and that made it easier to write the book.
Right. Next question that I want to go into, Martha, and maybe this is it's going to be very broad. Okay, so try to entertain me, try to entertain my listening audience, and establish an answer for it, but. as you've said, and as I can, of course, attest to and relate from people that I know, again, these supernatural experiences, right? These paranormal experiences are things that are happening more and more. At least it seems like it's becoming more and more common. Now, as you also said, from guidance from your father, listen, people don't really talk about them, right? Either fear of, either fear of criticism or whatever the case may be. But I want to take this opportunity because it's not very often that I have an author on our network that has had a near-death experience and has had these supernatural and paranormal experiences. So for anybody that's out there listening in right now, what are some words of wisdom that you can offer for someone that has maybe experienced something like this or similar to this, but doesn't really know how to go about articulating it?
Well, the first thing they have to do is acknowledge that the events did happen and that it wasn't their imagination. Then start talking to people about it. And if you start talking to people about the situation, there's going to be more people that are coming forward. And they will be able to tell you what their experiences were. And there's more of a spiritual side to it. And people are afraid people are going to be criticized, like you said, just for coming forward, and people might think that you're crazy. That's why a lot of people keep their thoughts to themselves and their experiences to themselves. It's out of fear that people won't accept it. But nowadays, with the spiritual awakening that's happening, more people are coming forward, and they're comfortable speaking about their experiences, and more people are starting to believe in life after death and all the other spiritual aspects of it.
Mm-hmm. With this next question here, because we know about this book, and it is phenomenal, okay? We know about your background. Well, I want to know about the future. I mean, please tell me this is not the only book that you have set to come out. Is there something else on the horizon? What's upcoming for you?
I've got another book right now that I'm writing, and this will be my second year. So with my second year of schooling and stuff like that, this is going to be the second manuscript that I'm editing right now to put out in the market. It is along the same line as the first one. It has different subjects in it, but it's still teaching the person how to listen to their intuition and trust their feelings and to be open to the spiritual world that's beyond this world we live in.
People, listen. You know where you have to go. Okay, I said it for you before. This is something that she has really devoted herself to, not only with this book, but the follow-up to that is following a similar premise. You know that she's speaking from a place of knowledge, right? She's speaking from a place of wisdom there. I absolutely love it. Last question here for you, Martha. I love having this platform, okay? I'm an artist myself. I'm in a different medium, but I do love having this platform to be able to pay it forward in a sense whenever there are artists out there, and in this case, writers out there listening in. Now, you are someone that has been through the process, and you've written your own narrative, but
Yes.
you've also gotten the book published, and anybody that's been through the process understands writing the book is only half the battle, right? Now, I want to take this opportunity.
Oh, that's true.
I want to take this opportunity, Martha, for any new writers out there listening in, someone just starting out, what are some words of wisdom that you can offer them about the journey they're getting ready to take?
Basically, it's to believe in yourself, do the work, and to do the research, but write what you know. It's very difficult to write about something you don't know, but if you have an experience, you write about what you do know.
Right.
And it helps the book flow along there.
the first thing that she said, believe in yourself. That is something that I don't think we can impress enough, right? Because listen, whenever you're embarked, and that's something that that's something that can be grabbed by artists. That is something that can be grabbed by any person, regardless of your particular field or career path. Believing in yourself is key. It's crucial to really helping yourself step outside of the bounds that you're comfortable with. Because a lot of times we stay confined to our little box out of fear of rejection, out of fear of criticism, out of fear of whatever. When you believe in yourself, that truly is the most important piece of foundation that you can have to start that journey. I love it. I absolutely love it. And people, you know what I love even more is we're at the end of the interview now. We've discussed so much information pertaining to her book, and yet somehow we've barely scratched the surface. There's still so much left for you to discover, and you know where you have to go to discover it, okay? Amazon, BarnesandNoble.com. MarthaKlimek.com for her blog, for additional resource information that she has on there. But you're going to want to pick up this title, people. It's called Embracing the Supernatural and Paranormal Phenomenon with Developing Your Psychic Abilities. How does one outrun the supernatural and paranormal phenomena? You don't. You embrace it. I love that. I love that title. People, head on over there today. Pick up your copies. A wonderful resource to add to your shelf. An even better gift to add to someone else's. Head on over there today. You can thank me later. Martha, this has been an absolute pleasure. Such an honor. Thank you once again for being a guest on People of Distinction.
And thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I enjoyed the interview.